Good morning. It's Wednesday, April 7th. And today I want to talk about a situation that has been going on for a long time. And before I say anything else about that, let me tell you that in my opinion, foreign policy is a can of worms, and foreign aid is in that can. So this is what I want to talk about. So I read an article that said Mahmoud Abbas, the PLO leader from Palestine, refused to take a telephone call from Secretary of State Blinken. He wants President Biden to call him directly. Now, I think that takes a lot of balls to demand that the president call you, even if you are the head of state, so to speak. And of course, Biden has gone ahead right now and done something that I really disagree with. I disagree with it a lot, as a matter of fact. He is releasing money for aid to Palestine, about $15 million. It's not a lot of money. And he's going to also start funding UNRWA, which is the UN organization that provides aid to Palestinian refugees as a form of relief and human development. And I don't know who really controls the way that money is distributed. In the past, a lot of the money that we sent to Palestine as aid was given out to families of suicide bombers and other individuals that attempted to murder and destroy things in Israel. So President Trump did the right thing when he stopped giving out that aid. And I think if we're going to go back into the ball game, so to speak, and we're going to start sending aid to Palestine directly and to UNRWA, then we have to stick to the rules that we applied to this aid. This aid was supposed to only be used with the purpose of helping develop the Palestinian refugees in a peaceful manner. Put the money toward education, clothing, food, whatever, but not to give that money to the families of those who committed evil deeds. So I have a problem with just opening this thing up without making sure that the conditions in which this aid was supposed to be given to Palestine are adhered to. And I think if you hand the money over to somebody else, God knows what they're going to do with it. I think that we, the United States of America, should be distributing this money by ourselves. We should not be giving this money to a third party to distribute. Now, that probably goes against all kinds of foreign aid procedures that we have in the country. And I know that in the law written specifically for this money, it says exactly that we should be making sure that this money doesn't go to suicide bombers, etc. And if you're watching the world picture, do you trust Abbas to do what he's supposed to be doing with this money? I say no. It's been proven in the past that they've given this money in spite of the fact that it was not supposed to be given to the suicide bombers' families. They've given it to them. And they have categorically said, we will not stop doing that. So why should we be giving them the money? They have said openly that this is our procedure. We intend to continue to take care of these families that are leading in the fight for our freedom, for our way of life, for the land that we want, for the land that Israel has. We want that also. So why are we opening this Pandora's box again? I have no real good answer for that. Now, the money that goes to UNRWA, which is part of the UN, that money was given to supply direct relief and work programs to Palestinian refugees in order to prevent conditions of starvation and distress, and to further conditions of peace and stability. So are you telling me that when you pay the families of suicide bombers and other convicted felons who have attacked primarily Israel, you've given them a pension for the rest of their lives? Is that the intent of what UNRWA money was? Is that the intent of any aid that's given to Palestine? I think not. I think our laws are correct in what they are doing with respect to trying to oversee where this money ends up. But it's a terrible thing that you can't give aid when people really need that aid. But then again, we don't control the aid. We don't stop what's going on in the schools in Palestine. So these people are getting educated in hatred. And if this money is paying for that, it's wrong also. There's a lot wrong with giving aid to certain countries. And I know a lot of times we give aid to people who are, in my mind, politically opposite to what we really view. But there are always some reason behind it. Like we want them to be our allies, so we pay for the alliance, even though we disagree heartily with what goes on in those regions or that particular country. Foreign aid is very difficult to understand. And as I said before, foreign policy is a can of worms. Foreign aid is in that can. And I don't know why Joe Biden chose to open up this particular area in that can of worms. I would not have been running so quickly to give foreign aid to the Palestinians. So that's all I have to say today, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye.